Madam Chair and Mr. President, I have the honor to present these graduates for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, and Adine Dubelboer will receive the graduates. Lily Catrin Bellend, Lloydminster, Alberta. Lily's life got hectic at times, so it was great that AU's flexibility made it possible for her to work on assignments at times that worked for her. She thanks her family for all of their support. She couldn't have done this without her husband's support or the support of her kids and her mom. She acknowledges Charlotte Bonnar, academic advisor at Lakeland College, for initially letting her know that a degree with AU was possible. Lily Catrin Bellend. Diane Marie Campbell, Sturgeon County, Alberta. Diane completed a portion of this degree online with AU as a result of the liaison between AU and Grand Prairie Regional College. She acknowledges her psychology professors at the college for being an amazing group of people who inspired and motivated her. She thanks her family and friends for all of their support throughout her studies. Without it, she would not be here today. She is now looking forward to some volunteerism related to her degree. Diane Marie Campbell. Kelvin Bo Campbell, Calgary, Alberta. Kelvin thanks his family for their unwavering support throughout the years of this educational journey. Their response was nothing short of encouraging. His mom helped him study at any given time. His sister and his nephew sacrificed many days without his involvement in their lives. His wife witnessed the hair on the top of his head getting thinner, and she too sacrificed days and nights without him. He could not have accomplished this without their unceasing support. Kelvin Bo Campbell. Reese Lumiere, Calgary, Alberta. Reese chose AU because the online courses allowed him sufficient flexibility to work and participate in other activities while furthering his education. He found out how beneficial that flexibility was when, last December, while working in retail, he had little time for his studies. His professors were very helpful and understanding. He acknowledges his parents for encouraging and supporting him throughout his academic pursuits. Reese Lumiere. DeeDee Emeka, Calgary, Alberta. DeeDee's professors were great. Their interest in her progress and willingness to help motivated her to keep working hard on her assignments. As the mother of 2 boys, as well as being a wife and an employee, she sometimes found it difficult to balance everything. But she believes that if you want something bad enough, you make it work. She thanks her husband for always supporting her. She also thanks her mother for making her believe that all things are possible. DeeDee Emeka. Amy Ford, Red Deer, Alberta. While completing this degree, Amy gave birth to a baby girl. She appreciated the fact that AU allowed her to stay at home to raise her daughter without taking breaks from her studies. Her favorite AU experience was getting huge boxes of books in the mail every 4 months. She thanks her family for their support throughout her studies, and she is now looking forward to graduate school with plans to eventually become a psychiatrist. Amy Ford. Jacob Delsworth Fox, Vilna, Alberta. Jacob chose AU because he liked the distance learning option and being able to study and learn in the comfort of his own home. He thanks his wife, his son, and his daughter for being patient with him while he focused on completing this degree. He considers it a miracle that he was able to be a full-time student, a full-time employee, a husband, and a father, excel at all those jobs, and still find time to watch Doctor Who on Netflix. Jacob Delsworth Fox. Julia Emily Fung, Edmonton, Alberta. Julia thanks her family for their ongoing support and encouragement. They believed in her ability and her tenacity. She thanks her mentor, Dr. Cynthia Blackman, a brilliant psychologist who has inspired Julia with a desire to help others. She also commends Dr. Louis Svengensen, who advised her that great academic writing takes time and practice, and Dr. James Brophy, who sparked in her an interest in sociology that she did not know she had. Julia Emily Fung. Douglas Edward Hoover, Edmonton, Alberta. Douglas thinks he may be the only graduate here who shook hands with Prime Minister John Diefenbaker. He thanks his wife, Azukina, for all of her love and encouragement, and he thanks his daughter, Elsie, who always joked that she would like to see him graduate before she did. He gives special acknowledgement to his late mother, Merle, who wanted to see him graduate, but who unfortunately passed away last year. She was always his inspiration. Douglas Edward Hoover. Dustin Thomas Lee, Calgary, Alberta. Dustin literally traveled across Canada from Vancouver to Quebec City while completing a full semester of courses. When his camper van broke down a few times, he had plenty of time to study for his tests that were scheduled in New York City. He thanks his mother, Shaz Newman, and her husband, John Newman, for their patience and generosity throughout his studies. He can now secure English as second language teaching positions in schools around the world. Dustin Thomas Lee. Allison Eileen Moss, Crossfield, Alberta. The history courses were Allison's favorites. She loves how understanding history can help you understand the present. Although she had many reasons for wanting to complete this degree, the best thing about it is when she tells her kids to finish what they start, they will know that she applies the same rule to herself. She thanks her husband, Craig, for all of his support and encouragement. Her daughter, Alexis, and son, William, were also big supporters. Allison Eileen Moss. David Stanley McCormack, Edmonton, Alberta. There were those who did not believe that David could finish this degree on a missionary salary while living and serving in an orphanage in Guatemala. But not only did he complete it, but he did so without going into debt. He thanks his mom, dad, brother, and sister for supporting him from the beginning and for always believing that he could achieve his goals. He also thanks his wife, Andrea, for supporting his desire to complete this degree. David Stanley McCormack. Nirali Mcdaniel, Edmonton, Alberta. After completing her associate's degree at Capilano College, Nirali struggled to determine which program best suited her interests and career goals. She found that studying within Athabasca University would allow her to pursue her education while also building a strong career in the nonprofit sector. This combination has allowed her to advance quickly in her chosen field. She thanks her tutor, Lori Milne, and also Leslie Johnson and Clayton for the support they each provided. Nirali McDaniel. Mojan Mashapur, Calgary, Alberta. The first psychology course that Mojan chose as an elective was so interesting that she fell in love with the discipline and ultimately switched her major from chemistry to psychology. This completely changed her future plans. She now plans to pursue a master's degree and then her PhD to become a psychologist. She thanks her mother, her brother, her husband, and her sister for the unconditional love and support they provided throughout her studies. Mojan Marshapur. Leanne Ivy Michelle Phillips, Niagara Falls, Ontario. Leanne sometimes worked 2 jobs to pay for her AU studies. Once, when her hours were cut at one job, she wasn't sure how she would pay for her next class. Then she was awarded a bursary from AU and was able to continue. She thanks her mom for getting her interested in psychology and paying for her first class to get her started. She thanks her fiancé, Charlie, for all of his support. By the way, they got engaged this past March. Leanne Ivy Michelle Phillips. Deanna Dorothy Roni, Houston, British Columbia. Although Deanna had many wonderful AU tutors and courses, the 2 that stand out are English 482 with Assistant Professor Angie Abdu and Women's and Gender Studies 465 with Karen Nielsen. They provided wonderful support, and she left each course with greater confidence. She also thanks her husband, who supported her when she struggled and was a patient listener, as well as her parents, whose unwavering support allowed her to be here today. Deanna Dorothy Roni. Tace Karen Michelle Seawall, Brooks, Alberta. Completing this goal after working towards it for so long has given Tace greater confidence in every area of her life and has added new vigor to everything she does. She hopes that her dedication has set a good example for her children, and she found that things she was studying inspired her to be a better parent. She thanks her husband, her parents, and her children for the support, encouragement, and hugs they provided, helping to make this achievement possible. Tace Karen Michelle Seawall. Christina Tolentino Vanderhayden, Ottawa, Ontario. It has taken Christina 30 years to complete this degree. Her studies were interrupted by a variety of events, including other educational pursuits, personal and family circumstances, and a career change and relocation. She thanks her husband, Gary, for his support and encouragement, most particularly when she was nearing her retirement from federal public service, and wondered about the value of completing a second degree at this stage in her life. Christina Tolentino Vanderhayden. Madam Chair and Mr. President, this concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Arts graduates.